Hello, and welcome back to another FPL video. Today, we're going to talk about some team news before the deadline for Gameweek 9, and we're going to prepare a wildcard draft because it was requested by some of my viewers. First of all, let's see how my team is looking. I don't expect a very solid week. I have a mixed bag of fixtures. Some are away, most of them are at home. I'm going to do one more transfer before the end of the time, and we're going to do it live on stream. Tomorrow I'll be live as soon as possible, and we're going to talk about FPL and how to build your team. And if you have any questions around captain option or around premium options, we don't have some team news regarding Arsenal, but I think most of their players are going to be alright, but we need to see. Yesterday I brought in Cole Palmer. He got a full rest because he didn't travel with Chelsea for the Conference League, and he will be with fresh legs, and he is going to be able to provide against Newcastle. I know that after that is Manchester United and Arsenal, so not the easiest fixture run. But regardless, I think that this guy is so good and he can deliver. Of course, options were Son, Foden, Saka to be remaining, and Mohamed Salah. But first of all, Saka is a doubt and he has bad fixtures as well. Secondly, Foden, his minutes are always going to be a risk, and I don't want to depend on 3 Manchester City players, as recently they have been struggling a little bit in the Prem, and now they have some more injuries being added to the list. So yeah, I will be quite hesitant to go there. Heung-min Son is not up to his best fitness, and Salah is just too expensive for my liking, and I want to keep my options open for the next couple of weeks in order to get the best players possible. So I went with Palmer and decided that he's going to be the best option. Haaland for now is a captain, and now let's go and see how the team news are looking. We have some team news from 7 of the managers. We have 13 more to come, so we're going to cover them tomorrow. Today for you when you're watching this video, so tune in and join the deadline stream. It's going to be there for you at least 2 hours before deadline, so yeah, it's going to be a good stream. Let's go and see what the managers have said so far. For Brighton and Hove Albion, Danny Welbeck could make a very swift return to action. Okay, but he will train today. Okay, so that's a good thing for him. Minte, who missed the match with his former employees, remains doubt. With Minte, we have to go day by day. He has a small issue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Webster, Milner, Pedro, and O'Reilly are also absent. Solly March is someone who is injury-free, but the Seagulls are taking their time with him. The winger has at least had game time with the under-21s as he built full fitness. Okay, so Solly March is nearing a return. Honestly, with Brighton is the hardest to predict, and I don't see me picking any of their players. For Everton, Heroic Bonham, Chermiti and Broya remain out, while Garner will be assessed with that injury. Brandwaite and Lindstrom look set to return for the clash with Fulham. Okay, so that would mean that Michael Keane, even though he scored a goal and he did pretty well against, who are they facing? Against Ipswich, he's going straight to the bench. I think that he will be building his defense around Ashley Young, Tarkovsky, Brandwaite and Mikolenko. So yeah, too sad for Michael Keane, but Brandwaite is just the better player. From Fulham, Anderson is banned, so he won't be featuring there. Sasha Vukic and Castaner also remain out. Carlos Vinicius and Cuenca have been back in training, however, with a late call to be made for their involvement. Okay. He will choose who can take penalties. Okay, so oh, maybe Andres Pereira is out of penalty duties, and it's going to be Raul Jimenez going forward. Gibbs White and Prowse are now free from suspension, but they don't have to build his fitness. It's a day by day, blah, blah, blah. Those recovering players may include Hudson-Odoi, who reportedly took a knock. Danilo and Sangare are out long term, so we don't have any information about most of the players coming from Nottingham Forest. Brilliant. Ipswich, Tunzabe, Johnson and Greaves are still sidelined. That's too bad for their defense. And they face, I think, Brentford, so they're up for some beating. Maybe investing in a player of the ranks of Wissa is going to be good to do, but we'll discuss that in a second. Southampton, Ross Stewart and Bazunu remain on the injury list. We will include Smallbone as well. Sugawara Yukinari is a doubt as well. So Sugawara is a doubt as well. Jack Steven is back. Okay. From Leicester's perspective, Daka, Stolarczyk and Choudhury remain out. Vestergaard does too. Okay, so none of the major teams have been mentioned here. Most of the teams are fighting for relegation and are not too popular, so I don't think it's going to be a big miss for any of the players that they are going to omit. But yes, still we needed to cover those news. Regarding my team and how it's looking, the way that I see myself finalizing the week is selling Havertz and just getting Chris Wood. I know that Wood has been scoring quite frequently so far, and I've missed a lot of his returns, but I think it's never late to say to add him and to be present because he's on pens and he has been expected to score a lot of goals. Like he has five goals from 3 expected. He's over exceeding, but then there are 2 home fixtures and 1 away. That is not that hard. So if I would guess, I will be bringing Chris Wood and I will be stacking on double Forest players. Looking at the elsewhere in the team, Gabriel will remain last sub. It's going to be between Robinson and Aina who to pick in order to cover his spot, and Smith Rowe is going to be always my first option as he is an attacking player and I always choose the attacking players. The rank is like that, 227k, 123rd. So yeah, I'm in a good position to continue moving forward, and now let's see how Wildcard Draft is going to look by me. Let's open the fixture difficulty rating. I know most of them, but let's see. So, as per usual, when building those Wildcard Drafts, we're removing all of the players from our team as we won't need them. First of all, we are always picking a captain option, and let's not fool ourselves, it's going to be Erling Haaland for most of us, and I will continue using him, and wow, and we'll continue utilizing him even though he blanked 3 weeks in a row, I think, and with expected goals of 0 last time around, I think that he will fight back and he will soon start to score more and more goals. Another player that for me is a must-have is Brian Mbeumo. I don't think you should be going in a week without Mbeumo. He's less than 50% owned, which for me is quite crazy. I think that he must be more owned. I know that 53 points is nothing that amazing, but he has been chipping them week in and week out, and I believe that you can rely on him to start delivering points apart, not like some other players that are just having big purple patches and then slowing down and you have to own them for a specific time and period. With Mbeumo, you can rely on him and you can fully commit with him. Another player that I will be picking on a wild card, of course, is Cole Palmer. He's not going anywhere. For me, that fixture run is semi-hard for them. Let's say it's hard, but after that, it's a green run of fixtures. And if you don't own him, you're doing something wrong. And I think that you would be owning him after at least game week 12. You have to monitor, though, his yellow cards. He's on 3, so he might miss the Arsenal game, which is not that big of a deal, but still quite possibly missed it, or even can miss the Leicester one, which is going to be heartbreaking if you ask me. So we selected those 3 players, and for me there should be the foundation of your team. Moving into more teams with good fixtures, with the wild card I think you should get players with good fixtures, even though not with good fixtures only, but with good form. Even though you're going to bench some of them for the time being, I think that you should be owning them. Such a player for me is Gabriel, for example. He is a bench option for me right now, but currently I believe that 6.3 million, if you have him, keep him. If you don't, just bring him in, and he should be a foundation player of yours. Looking elsewhere, some good teams with good fixture runs are, for example, Spurs, who have been scoring a lot of goals, and I know that I've picked Palmer over Son, but if I'm on a wild card, I will be picking Son once again, because he's almost back to his original price, and it's a good thing to own such a good and versatile attacker who is on penalties, and when he gets into his greatest form, he will be unstoppable. Looking at the other fixtures, I see myself picking a West Ham player, even though they're in such a bad predicament right now. I believe that I might be owning one of them, and that one is going to be most probably Jarrod Bowen. I don't know if the money is going to be enough, but if it isn't, Jarrod Bowen is going to make a way. One more team with good fixtures going forward for the foreseeable future is not only Wolves, it is Brentford as well, but now let's pick a player from Wolves first of all, and between Cunha and Warsen, I think I'm picking Cunha for his penalty taking and his amazing attacking potential. I know that he has been missing some chances, but it was against City, so I wouldn't be worried at all. As mentioned, apart from Mbeumo, I would go for Collins. here in the defensive department because he has amazing fixture run and he's doing pretty good, and he already scored, I think, 2 goals. Oh no, 1 goal and 3 assists. Come on. You cannot write those numbers, and he is in a pretty good contention to score some more attacking returns. Looking elsewhere for a goalkeeper position, I'm going to go for Sales. I know that he just got an amazing 11-point return, and this is only his 3rd clean sheet of the season. The other 2 were against Southampton and Liverpool, but he is making good numbers, and starting for his defender is never bad. Bentley immediately restored into the frame. Do we have a 3.9 keeper? Because if we do, I'm just selecting the 3.9 option. I'm not quite sure, but I think we're a little bit not there yet. Kelleher is a good option, but still at what is his price exactly this year? 4.4. I'm not going to go for him as soon. Alisson is going to be back, and when he's back, you have to take him out. So it's a no-go for me. So we have 24 million to finalize the squad. That's not a lot, but returning Morgan Rogers makes a lot of sense because he's cheap and he's reliable. And as mentioning, we are going to talk about Wood, and he's coming back into the side. Now we have 12 million to finalize the squad. We're going to pick a 4.0 option as we never need basically to own a player at that department that is more expensive. So for example, Harwood Bellis makes a perfect sense to be picked. Another defender that makes sense to be picked is Van den Beek. He has been playing regularly, so if we need to save money, not Van den Beek, sorry, Van der Beek, we will be making way coming from Collins. But for now, I think that picking a player of the ranks, for example, from Harwood Bellis, is going to be more than good and more than solid, so we're good to go there. I mentioned already that Wolves has an amazing fixture run, and they look like improving team, so 8 Nuri joins the frame. And now we need to pick either a 4.4 defender or just make some adjustments. I prefer to make some adjustments as Bowen is never nailed and is never sure, so I'm going to go into that direction. Picking Gvardio here makes a lot of sense. He got fully rested. He has been in a good form. He has been scoring goals, and I think that he's a good and solid defender. If you don't have the money to afford him, Rico Willis is a nice cheap option that you can go for. And now we need to select a 5.7 midfielder. Let's see what the money is saying here. You can go for Smith Rowe already. You can go for Bononote, who has a good fixture run, but after that is a little bit questionable. I would not recommend it. Semenyo is a solid option, but maybe he will have to be sitting on a bench for a while. Tillemans is okay. Jorginho Ruter. Adama is a good option. He's cheap, he's reliable, he can be benched in bad weeks, and he can be trusted upon. Damsgaard, Mario Jr., Baleva, Quivert, Andreas, a lot of options here and there for the chief department, but honestly, I think that I will be going for Semenyo, as he is good to be targeted. Yeah, benching against City is not that big of a deal, but you have more players that can be rotated. You can even play in the defensive department. Basically, it will be Gabriel, Vardio, and Collins. So 8 Nuri this week is going to be Collins, 8 Nuri, and Vardio. A pretty good rotation pair. When City's fixture turn for the worse, you just swap him for another Arsenal defender and you're in the money. You can pick also Liverpool defender, but with the budget that we own currently, Harwood Bellis is just a placeholder. I don't think that it's quite a big deal who you select here as your 4-all defender. He just needs to play. But we have 3 premium options. We have 2 more penalty takers, and we have exciting players in midfield. So I think that's a pretty good draft. For everyone asking, I think that it's a solid Gameweek 9 wildcard draft. Please put it down what you think about it. Yes, I've omitted Manchester United players who are having a good run of fixtures, but if I pick Garnacho, for example, it must be Rico Willis, and then I must move for funds. Another option is to go for Warson instead of Cunha, and then pick Garnacho instead of Semenyo. Garnacho is only how much, 6.2, so he's not that far to be picked. So yeah, for sure Cunha out for Warsen, and Garnacho is going to do the job. But honestly, I'm quite tempted to still keep this squad. I like it a lot. I prefer to build it that way, and yeah, I think we're in the money. After game week 11, I think Haaland is sellable, and then you can fund whatever the hell you want. So yeah, that's the wildcard draft. Please put it in the comment section what you think about it. Come to the deadline stream, we're going to have a lot of fun. But for now, guys, I'm heading out. Bye!